to learn how to paint in acrylics. My name is Michael Pickett and I'll be your instructor. Well, there's an episode that I did back in 2012 and I'm going to go ahead and redo it, re-edit it, and make it a little more simple for you to understand and to follow along with. And well, let's go to my studio and I'll show you how it's done. I'll see you there. Because it takes a long time to do a painting, the lesson was put in fast motion and narrated. We finished the drawing of the tiger on the 8x10 canvas. Now we'll get our burnt sienna and plenty of water and we'll make a wash and we'll go over that whole canvas. Now we'll take our men's cotton sock and we'll lightly wipe the paint. We don't want to wipe any of that pencil off. We want it to show through. Okay, we'll start out with the eyes first. Get the black and fill in the pupil. Fill around the eye where his stripes are. And outline the eye. And then go ahead and fill it in underneath the eye. Okay. Now we're going to get our burnt sienna. And we're going to put in the iris. And when we get that burnt sienna in the iris, we'll blend it in. We'll blend more to the top to where it's shadowed. And then we'll go to the other side, and then we'll blend that in too. Now we'll get some white and we'll lighten up the bottom part of the iris. That's where the light is reflecting on the bottom. And then we'll do some more blending. And we'll get some white and we'll make the reflection lines. And we'll add the reflected light in between the pupil and the iris and towards the top of the eye, right hand side. Now we'll get some white. We'll make some reflections underneath the eye to make it look wet. Okay, we'll do some more blending. We'll work on the other eye. When we do the pupil on the other side, we only make a half circle. The half circle is because the eye is at an angle. Now we'll take and we'll blend it in. And we'll outline it a little bit there. Take some of the black and we'll kind of outline up and around the eye. And down below, that's one of his stripes we'll fill in. Okay. Now we'll work on the nose. Now we're going to get our black, and we're going to fill in the nostrils, kind of outline the inner part of the nose, and bring it down towards his mouth. And we'll fill in more of the black around the nostrils. There we go. We'll go on the other side too. And we'll fill in the stripes alongside of his cheek. Now we'll outline the top of his nose. Now we'll add a little bit of white into our black to create a gray, and we'll fill in the rest of the nose in front. And we'll add a little bit of white and burnt sienna into the black to make it warm. And towards the top of the nose, we'll make it a little bit brighter. And we'll do some blending as we go. All right. Now we'll get a little bit more white and burnt sienna, and then we'll blend it in with the gray that's already there. And then we'll bring it down and we'll blend it into the front, but not so bright. There we go. As you can see, in front of the nose we have a hint of a divide, and that's what we want. Now let's go to the very top of the nose. We're going to blend a little bit of gray and burnt sienna, but we have a faint line between the top of the nose and the fur. And we're going to blend it in to give a hint of a line to divide the nose onto the fur. Okay, we'll add some white and burnt sienna over onto the left side of the nose. We'll brighten that up. And then we'll come down and we'll fill in down towards the bottom of the nose and all around. Get that all filled in. Then we'll go to the top and we'll do more blending. Now add a little more white. Gonna brighten up the areas that are round. We're gonna make them look round, but we're gonna make them look a little wet at the same time. We'll go further to the top of the nose. And this time we're going to be adding a burnt sienna just by itself, and then we'll blend it in with the color that's just below it. Here we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and frame around the nose. Add some black. Place that little divide line in the front of his nose. Now this is the fun part, where we're going to fill in all the stripes, and we're going to fill in his whisker lines. We're going to use black. We're going to fill all that in. keep adding black. Get all those stripes filled in. The stripes under his eye, towards the top of his head and to the side. Yeah, all of those stripes. Add a little more black and brighten up the nostrils a little bit with black. I fill in the stripes up towards the top of his head. Okay, we'll go ahead and let that dry. Now that it's dry, we're going to get some blue and white, and we're going to put in a wash. Get plenty of water. It's a blue and white mixture, and you make it thin, and just make a wash, and just go over the areas over the top of the stripes. All right. Now we're going to let that dry. Now that it's all dry, we'll get our black and we'll go over the stripes again. Painting all the stripes back in. And just continue putting the stripes back in. Okay, there we go. Now we'll let that dry, and then we'll get some white on our number 2 brush, but just a hint of yellow to make it warm. Now we will just dab it up and down. We'll add it in between the stripes. Bring that out. That is a really cool effect. It makes it look like fur. Just makes it look soft and warm. I used burnt sienna, black and white, and I filled in the top of his nose and alongside of the face. Now we'll get our burnt sienna, we'll add some yellow to that and some white, a little bit whiter, and we just add it underneath the eye. And then we add some up towards the top left side of his head. Just add it underneath the eye. Now we'll bring it alongside of his nose and down to his whiskers. And we'll bring it up more towards the side of the nose. Now we'll go towards the top of the head. And we'll take that same color and we'll just fill that in. And we'll blend it into the white along the side. And to make it round, we will add some right down towards the middle top of the nose, back and forth. Kind of lighten that up. We're texturing it a little bit just to make it look more like fur. We don't really want it a solid color. We'll add a little more color into the eye on the right hand side. And we'll do some blending. And we'll do more detail. We'll get some white and we'll just do some touch-ups up towards the top of his head. Around his whisker lines. And we'll kind of go over the whisker lines to soften them up some more. Lightly put in some textured lines in the dark area. Then we'll add in all different colors all the way around. We're basically detailing it. Evaluating what we need, and we're just adding the colors in as we go. And a little bit of reflection on the nose. Make that nose a little brighter towards the top. There you go. All right. It's really coming along nice. We'll use our white on our number 2 brush and we'll create some fine hairs on our white stripes into the black. We're going to texture it a little bit more on top of his nose. Just a little bit underneath his nostril. Not too much, you don't want to make it light. Okay, we'll go ahead and darken his lips. And add a little more white under there to bring them out some. Alright, now we've got our yellow and our blue together, and we're going to mix it right on the canvas on the right hand side. This is for the background. And we'll add a little bit of black in with our green to make it a little darker. Then we'll add some yellow towards the right top corner and blue. And to make that green, then we'll brighten that up some. There we go. Okay, we'll just put in our grass in the background and then we'll blend it in to make it look blurry. That way it'll set it off into the distance. All right. There we go. And we'll do a little more detail. Now we're going to add his whiskers. This water and a little bit of white. Point the brush directly to the whisker dot and just come out really lightly. He's got long whiskers, so yeah, get that all filled in and all detailed. But you know what? I think we're all through, so we'll just sign our painting. And now we'll paint the edges of our canvas black. Now this is only optional. There's the tiger. Well, we're back. And I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. And we'll see you next time. You guys have a great day and happy painting.